I used to think after 60, memory decline, it was just inevitable.
Yeah.
It was just hardwired into getting older, right?
Yeah.
But then I found this article on Medium
Okay.
called Brain Foods,
Mm-hmm.
Eating for Mental Sharpness. It's got a subtitle, Your Guide to Nourishing Your Mind After 60.
Okay.
And honestly,
Yeah.
reading this, it totally shifted my perspective, because it turns out that what we eat can really have a big impact on how well our brains work as we age.
Absolutely.
So I thought this would be awesome to kind of unpack together
Yeah, for sure.
and see what we can learn about fueling our minds for, for the long haul.
Yeah, well, I think what's really intriguing about this whole field of brain foods is that it's not just about preventing decline.
Right.
It's about actually supporting and even enhancing brain health through, the choices that we make on our plates.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's so empowering.
Yeah.
So, okay, the article kicks off by talking about the Mediterranean diet.
Right.
As this, brain-boosting champion.
Yeah.
And we've all heard of Mediterranean diet, right?
Of course, yeah.
But it's not just a list of foods.
Right.
It's really more of a whole lifestyle.
A whole approach, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, I think it's that holistic approach that makes it so beneficial for the brain, right?
Uh-huh.
You think about all the components. Fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats.
Right.
All of those elements are working together to provide this symphony of nutrients.
I love that. A symphony of nutrients. Okay.
Yes, that protect brain cells and enhance cognitive function.
Yeah.
There's actually been studies that have linked this eating pattern to a reduced risk of cognitive decline and even Alzheimer's disease.
It's amazing.
It is.
It really highlights food as medicine in a powerful way.
Absolutely.
One thing that really stood out to me in the article
Yeah.
was the emphasis on colorful fruits and vegetables,
Yes.
especially those dark-colored berries.
Yeah.
Like blueberries, blackberries,
Yeah.
strawberries.
Right.
I love berries anyway,
Me too.
but now I want to eat them even more.
Yeah. Well, and your intuition is spot on
Okay.
because those vibrant colors are a signal of their potent antioxidant content.
Okay.
You see, our brain cells are constantly under attack from free radicals,
Okay.
which are these unstable molecules that can damage cells and accelerate aging.
Got it.
Imagine your brain cells are like tiny, intricate machines.
Okay.
Free radicals are like rust, slowly making those machines less efficient.
Wow.
Antioxidants act like a cleaning crew, neutralizing those free radicals and keeping those brain machines running smoothly.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
I've always heard about antioxidants,
Yeah.
but honestly, I've never really understood what they were actually doing until now.
Yeah, they're like a protective force.
Yeah, so basically popping those dairies into my morning yogurt or whatever
Exactly.
is giving my brain a daily tune-up.
Precisely.
Okay, love it.
Don't forget about leafy green powerhouses
Yes.
like spinach,
Yeah.
kale,
Yes.
and collard greens.
Okay.
They're packed with folate and B vitamins,
Yes.
which are essential for a whole range of brain functions.
Now, you mentioned folate,
Yeah.
and the article mentions how it's crucial for producing neurotransmitters,
Right.
those chemical messengers in the brain.
Yeah.
But couldn't you just take a supplement?
You could.
Why is it better to get it from leafy greens?
Well, that's a great question. And while supplements can be helpful in certain situations,
Sure.
there's a growing body of evidence that suggests that we absorb and utilize nutrients more effectively when we get them from whole food sources.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Plus, leafy greens are packed with other beneficial compounds that work synergistically with the folate to really support brain health.
Okay, so it's not just about isolated nutrients.
Exactly.
It's about the whole package deal.
It's the whole, the synergy.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I know, some people struggle with digesting raw greens.
Right,
And the article suggests steaming them or adding them to soups.
right.
Wouldn't that, destroy some of those precious nutrients, though?
Well, there's always a trade-off.
Sure.
Some nutrients may be slightly reduced through cooking,
Uh-huh.
but the benefits of improved digestion and increased intake often outweigh those losses,
Yeah.
It's about finding what works best for your individual needs and preferences.
Makes sense. So we've got our colorful produce covered.
Yes.
But what about brain fuel?
Yeah.
This is where healthy fats come in, right?
Absolutely. Our brains are about 60% fat. So it's no surprise they need a steady supply of healthy fats to function optimally.
Makes sense.
And when it comes to brain-boosting fats,
Right. Okay.
fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and trout are at the top of the list.
The article mentions that they're loaded with omega-3 fatty acids.
Yeah.
I've always heard that those are good for your heart, but I never realized they play such a vital role in brain health.
Well, what's fascinating is that omega-3s aren't just hanging out in brain cells. They're actually key components of the cell membranes.
Wow.
They're influencing how well those cells communicate with each other, impacting overall brain function.
Wow.
Think of them as the lubricant that keeps the brain's machinery running smoothly.
Okay, this whole idea of omega-3s in cell membranes
Yeah.
is fascinating.
It is, yeah.
I never thought about it like that before.
Yeah.
So aiming for at least 2 servings of fatty fish a week
At least, yeah.
is like giving my brain a high-performance tune-up.
You could say that.
Okay, I love that.
And if you're not a fan of fish,
Yeah.
the article mentions that fish oil supplements can be a good alternative.
Okay.
But, as always, it's always wise to chat with your doctor first before starting any new supplements.
Good point. Now, if I'm craving like a brain-boosting snack,
Yeah.
I'm definitely reaching for like a handful of nuts and seeds.
Good too.
Walnuts and flax seeds in particular get a shout out in this article.
Yes, they do.
I've always been a bit of a walnut fanatic, so I'm happy to hear that.
Well, your walnut obsession is officially justified.
All right.
They're a great source of both healthy fats and vitamin E,
Okay.
another powerful antioxidant that helps protect those delicate brain cells.
So good.
It is.
I love that the article includes like these really simple suggestions,
Yeah.
like, just a small handful of nuts for a snack,
Exactly.
or sprinkling some ground flaxseed on your oatmeal or yogurt.
Absolutely.
Easy and delicious.
And those small changes can make a big difference.
Right.
It's often those simple, consistent changes that make the biggest difference in the long run.
I agree.
It's not about perfection.
Yeah.
It's about creating a lifestyle that supports your brain health over time.
Love that. Speaking of long-lasting energy,
Yes,
we can't forget about protein.
we can't.
Right. I mean, it's like the fuel that keeps our brain firing on all cylinders.
That's right. Protein provides the building blocks for neurotransmitters,
Right.
those essential chemical messengers we talked about earlier.
Yes.
And without enough protein, our brains simply can't function at their best.
And the article gives us like a great lineup of protein-packed options.
Yes.
Eggs, for example, are a fantastic source of choline,
Right.
which is vital for memory and brain development.
Exactly.
Then there's lean poultry for those all-important
Okay.
B vitamins.
Yes.
And then beans and lentils for a double dose of protein and fiber.
Oh, that's a great point about fiber.
Good.
It plays a crucial role in regulating blood sugar levels,
Right.
which is essential for maintaining steady energy levels and preventing those dreaded brain fog moments.
Yes, so we've covered a lot of ground when it comes to like brain-boosting superstars.
Yes.
But the article also talks about
Yes,
foods we should be limiting
absolutely.
if we want to keep our minds sharp.
Yeah, it's not just about what we add to our diets. It's also about what we choose to reduce or eliminate.
So let's dive into those.
Okay.
Foods to limit.
Let's do it.
Processed foods loaded with added sugars, excessive salt, fried foods, refined carbs, and alcohol.
All the good stuff, right?
All the good stuff.
No, all the bad stuff.
All the bad stuff.
Yeah,
They all get a red flag from the article.
they do.
I have to admit, I'm a little guilty of indulging in some of these from time to time.
Well, it's all about balance, isn't it?
It is.
The occasional indulgence is perfectly fine.
Sure.
But if these foods are making up a significant portion of your diet,
Right.
it's time to rethink your choices.
Yeah.
These foods can contribute to inflammation in the body,
Okay.
which can negatively impact brain health over time.
Yeah.
They also tend to be low in essential nutrients, so they're not doing your brain any favors.
So it's like we're putting premium fuel in our car,
Exactly.
but then clogging up the engine with sludge.
A perfect analogy.
So what we really need is a brain-healthy pantry makeover.
Exactly. Out with the processed and in with the whole nutrient-rich foods that will fuel your mind for years to come.
This has been so insightful.
It has.
We've covered so much ground already, from those vibrant berries and leafy greens
We have.
to those protein-packed powerhouses.
Yes.
And the importance of limiting those brain-draining culprits.
Absolutely.
But we're not done yet.
No, we're not.
In the next part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
we'll delve deeper into some of the science behind these brain-boosting strategies
Awesome.
and explore the remarkable concept of neuroplasticity.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We'll also tackle some common challenges
Yes.
and provide you with actionable steps you can take to nourish your mind for a lifetime of mental sharpness.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Me too.
Welcome back. You know, as we were talking about all these brain-boosting foods, it kind of hit me that it's not just about like
Right.
adding all the good stuff, right? It's also about being mindful of
Yeah.
the things that might be
Right.
holding our brains back a little bit.
Absolutely. It's like tending a garden.
Okay.
You need to both nourish the plants and remove the weeds that compete for resources.
I love that.
The article makes a compelling case for reducing processed foods,
Right.
excess sugar, salt, fried foods, refined carbs, and alcohol.
Yeah.
They can actually hinder our cognitive function over time.
So it's not about being perfect.
Right.
It's just about
Exactly.
being aware
Being mindful.
of those sneaky brain drainers.
Yeah.
Speaking of sneaky, I was really surprised by how much the article emphasized hydration.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we all know we should drink water,
Right, of course.
but it never really occurred to me how crucial it is for brain function.
It's easy to overlook, right?
Easily.
But dehydration can lead to fatigue, brain fog, and make it hard to concentrate.
Yeah.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Your brain cells need water to communicate effectively.
Mm-hmm.
When you're dehydrated, those signals get muddled,
Oh, wow.
like a radio with static.
So I guess carrying a water bottle around is like giving my brain
Exactly.
a clear signal boost.
Yeah, a little hydration boost.
Got it. Another part that really resonated with me was the focus on meal timing.
Mm-hmm.
The article suggests never skipping breakfast,
Right.
eating regular meals at consistent times,
Yeah.
having healthy snacks between meals if needed,
Yes.
and avoiding large meals close to bedtime.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So what's the science behind that?
Well, it's all about maintaining stable blood sugar levels.
Okay.
When we eat,
Yeah.
our bodies convert food into glucose, which is the primary energy source for our brains.
Got it.
If our blood sugar fluctuates wildly, we experience energy crashes,
Right.
mood swings, and it becomes harder to focus.
Right.
Consistent meal timing helps smooth out those peaks and valleys, keeping
Yeah.
our brains humming along steadily.
This is making me rethink my late night snacking habits.
Uh-oh.
The article specifically mentions
Yeah.
avoiding large meals before bed. What's the connection there? Does it impact sleep quality?
It does.
And if so, how does that tie back to brain function?
Well, it's all interconnected.
Okay.
When we eat a large meal close to bedtime, our bodies are working hard to digest that food,
Right.
which can interfere with our sleep cycles.
Yeah.
And we know that quality sleep is crucial for brain health.
So true.
During sleep,
Yeah.
our brains consolidate memories, clear out waste products,
Wow.
and essentially hit the reset button for the next day.
Does this mean I have to give up my late night ice cream ritual?
Well,
I mean, I know it's not the healthiest habit,
right.
but it's kind of my way to unwind at the end of the day.
Well, it's not about deprivation. It's about being mindful.
Okay.
Perhaps you could shift that ritual earlier in the evening,
Right.
or experiment with healthier alternatives that satisfy your sweet cravings without disrupting your sleep.
Okay.
There are lots of options out there.
Yeah, so it's about finding a balance
Yeah.
that works for me. Not some like rigid set of rules.
Not
really-
at all.
Okay, that's actually really reassuring.
Good.
One thing I appreciate about this article is that it feels really approachable.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like promoting some extreme diet or demanding perfection.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Yeah, I love that.
It's about making sustainable changes that fit into your life,
Right.
not turning your world upside down.
Yeah,
Small, consistent steps can have a huge impact over time.
I agree.
The article suggests starting small,
Okay.
adding one new brain-healthy food each week, focusing on portion control,
Right.
and simply being more aware of what we're eating.
Now, this might sound like a basic question, but why is portion control so important?
Sure.
Especially when it comes to brain health.
Okay.
I mean, I get that it's about maintaining a healthy weight,
Right.
but is there a more direct connection?
There is.
Okay.
It's not just about weight. It's about how our bodies process food.
Okay.
When we overeat, even healthy foods,
Yeah.
our bodies have to work harder to digest and metabolize that excess,
Right.
which can lead to inflammation and oxidative stress. These processes can damage brain cells over time,
So even if I'm eating all the right things,
Yeah,
piling my plate sky high
exactly.
could
Yeah.
be working against me.
It could be, yeah.
I never thought about it that way.
It's a good point.
It's all about finding that sweet spot
Yes.
where you're providing your body with the nutrients it needs
Right,
without overloading the system.
exactly.
This whole conversation is making me realize
Yeah,
how much I've taken my brain for granted.
I think we all do.
I mean, I've always been pretty health conscious,
Sure.
but I never really focused on nourishing my brain specifically.
I think a lot of people associate brain health with aging,
Right.
but it's something we need to be thinking about throughout our lives.
Yeah.
The choices we make today, from the foods we eat to the habits we cultivate, can have a profound impact on our cognitive function for decades to come.
That's both empowering and a little daunting at the same time.
It is.
It's great to know we have some control,
Yeah,
but it also means we need to step up and take responsibility for our brain health.
absolutely. It's a lifelong journey of learning,
Yeah.
adapting, and making choices that support our cognitive well-being.
Speaking of learning,
Yes.
one thing I'm really curious about is this idea of neuroplasticity.
Okay,
The article mentioned it briefly,
it did.
but I'd love to hear more about
Sure.
what it actually means and how it relates to brain health,
Okay.
especially as we age.
Neuroplasticity is a truly remarkable concept.
It is.
It refers to the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout our lives.
Wow.
For a long time, it was believed that our brains were essentially fixed after a certain age.
Really?
But now we know that's simply not true.
Wow.
Our brains have the incredible capacity to form new connections, strengthen existing ones,
That's amazing.
and even rewire themselves in response to new experiences and learning.
So even though our brains naturally change as we get older,
Yeah.
we can still actively influence those changes
Yes.
through our lifestyle choices.
Absolutely. It's never too late to start taking care of our brain health.
Okay.
By engaging in mentally stimulating activities, staying physically active, managing stress levels, getting enough sleep,
Right.
and of course, nourishing our brains with a healthy diet,
Yes.
we can support neuroplasticity and maintain our cognitive function for years to come.
That's incredibly empowering.
It is.
It's like we have this amazing tool at our disposal,
We do.
and it's up to us to learn how to use it effectively.
Exactly.
It's not about fighting against aging.
Right.
It's about optimizing our brains for a lifetime of vitality and mental sharpness.
I love that perspective.
I love that too.
It's about embracing the journey of aging with curiosity,
Yes.
resilience,
Right.
and a commitment to nurturing our cognitive well-being.
You know, and this deep dive has been a real eye-opener for me.
Oh, good.
I've learned so much
I'm glad.
about the specific foods that can boost brain function,
Yeah,
the importance of hydration and meal timing,
absolutely.
and this whole concept of neuroplasticity has totally blown my mind.
It's fascinating stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
But we're not quite finished yet.
No, we're not.
In the final part of our deep dive,
Yes.
we'll shift gears and explore some practical steps you can take to implement these brain-boosting strategies into your daily life.
Awesome.
We'll delve into actionable tips for making sustainable changes, setting realistic goals, and overcoming those common challenges that can trip us up along the way.
It's all about making it real.
Exactly.
We'll also share some additional resources and tools that can support you on your journey towards optimal brain health.
Awesome.
So stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive into brain foods and mental sharpness after 60.
Can't wait. Welcome back to our final deep dive into boosting your brain power after 60.
Yeah.
We've uncovered some incredible insights about
Uh-huh.
food and hydration and
Yeah.
even this amazing ability of our brains to change and adapt.
It's pretty remarkable
Yeah.
how much control we actually have over our cognitive destiny, when we understand how all these factors work together.
Absolutely. But knowing is only half the battle, right?
Right.
Now we've got to figure out how to actually put all this knowledge into action.
Exactly.
Yeah. So where do we even begin?
Well, one of the most effective strategies is to start small
Okay.
and build momentum from there.
Okay.
Trying to overhaul your entire diet overnight
Sure.
can be overwhelming, and it often leads to burnout.
Yeah, I can see that.
Instead, focus on incorporating one new brain-healthy food each week.
So instead of feeling like I need to become a gourmet chef overnight,
Right.
I could just swap out my usual afternoon snack for a handful of those brain-boosting walnuts we talked about.
Exactly.
Okay.
Small changes, consistently applied, can lead to remarkable long-term benefits.
That feels much more manageable.
Good.
Another thing we talked about was portion control. I'm pretty good about eating healthy foods,
Okay.
but I tend to eat large portions.
Yeah.
Are there any simple strategies for kind of getting a handle on that?
Absolutely. Using smaller plates is a great visual cue.
Okay.
It makes your portions look more substantial even if you're actually eating less.
Oh, interesting.
You can also try pre-portioning snacks
Okay.
into small containers or baggies instead of eating straight from the bag.
Oh, that's smart.
That way you're not mindlessly munching
Yeah.
and eating way more than you intended.
Good tips. And of course, we can't forget about hydration.
We can't.
I've definitely noticed a difference in my energy levels and focus
Yeah.
when I'm not drinking enough water.
It's such a fundamental aspect of brain health, yet it's so easy to overlook.
Yeah, it is.
Aim for at least 8 glasses of water per day.
Okay.
And even more if you're physically active or live in a hot climate.
Makes sense.
A simple trick is to keep a water bottle with you throughout the day and sip on it regularly.
Okay, water bottle, check. But what about those times when, like,
Yeah.
even the best intentions go astray, right?
Right.
Life gets busy.
It does.
Schedules get hectic.
Yes.
And sometimes those less than healthy cravings,
Yeah,
they just take over.
they do.
Any advice for navigating those tricky situations?
It's important to acknowledge that cravings are a normal part of being human.
Totally.
Don't beat yourself up if you slip up occasionally.
Okay.
The key is to approach those cravings with curiosity rather than judgment.
Okay.
What need are you trying to meet with that food?
Oh, interesting.
Is it hunger, boredom, stress,
Wow.
or something else?
That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah?
I usually just try to, like, white knuckle my way through cravings.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that.
Which often backfires.
It does, yeah. Deprivation often leads to overindulgence later on.
Right.
Instead of viewing certain foods as completely off limits,
Okay.
try incorporating more of the brain-healthy options we discussed
Right.
into your daily routine. If you're craving something sweet,
Yeah.
reach for a piece of fruit or a small square of dark chocolate
Right.
instead of that sugary processed snack.
Okay, so it's about making, like, strategic swaps.
Yes.
Rather than feeling like I'm missing out.
It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
I like that.
Yeah,
Are there any other tips for kind of, like,
sure.
staying on track, especially when life throws curveballs?
One of the most powerful things you can do is cultivate a supportive environment.
Okay.
Surround yourself with people who encourage your healthy habits.
Mm-hmm.
Share your goals with friends and family, find a workout buddy, or join a cooking class.
That makes so much sense.
Big time.
Having a
See?
support system can make all the difference
Right.
when those inevitable challenges arise.
Absolutely. It's much easier to stay motivated and inspired when you have people cheering you on
Right.
and holding you accountable.
I love that we've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We started by exploring the specific foods that can nourish our brains.
Yeah.
And then we delved into the importance of hydration and meal timing, and even the fascinating world of neuroplasticity.
It's amazing how much our brains can change and adapt, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah,
We also tackled some common challenges
we did.
and explored practical strategies for creating a brain-healthy lifestyle
Right, a lifestyle that supports cognitive function.
that you can sustain for years to come.
Exactly.
As we wrap up this episode,
Yeah,
I want to leave you with a final thought-provoking question to ponder.
okay.
What single change from today's discussion will you try,
Good question.
and how might it impact your daily life? Remember, even small steps can lead to big results when it comes to nourishing your brain and maintaining mental sharpness.
It's all about those small steps.
It really is.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on this incredible journey of discovery.
This has been so fun.
It has been.
I feel like I've learned so much.
I'm so glad.
And I hope everyone listening has too.
Me too. And we hope you feel empowered and inspired to take charge of your cognitive well-being
Right.
and unlock the full potential of your amazing brain.
I love that. What an amazing way to end our deep dive.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
It was my pleasure.